everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Sinisha, and this is PeepSo Feature Highlights. This is the third episode of our deep dive into Gecko Customizer, and in previous episode we stopped with the header settings. If you didn't watch the previous two episodes, I strongly urge you to go and watch that. And for now we are going to continue where we left off, and that is the side nav options. If you're new to this series, those options can be accessed by going into WordPress dashboard, then opening Gecko Customizer, and in theme category you will find the subcategory called side nav. Now this side nav is gonna add additional menu on the side of your website, and you can simply enable it here in the basic settings for the side nav. Now it's disabled, and now it's enabled. You see how it adds a completely new side nav to the site. And you can also change the logo if you want. I already uploaded this one, and that logo will be displayed over here. And if you don't want to show the double logo, you can go back to categories on the site and scroll down a little bit and disable logo visibility and publish the preset. Now, this side nav has never been designed to replace your actual navigation menu. And there is no option to add additional items to this menu here. But because I read all the comments, I saw you were asking me how to add additional menu items in the side nav. And unfortunately, there is no option for that here because this feature is still in beta. But if you're interested, I can create a video at the end of this series when we go through all of the settings in the Gecko Customizer. I can create the video, a bonus video showing how to make template overrides. And I'm going to override the side nav and add new menus using template overrides. So if you're interested to see how that works, post a comment below. I read all of the comments all of the time. I will see it. So if there's any interest in it, I will do it. If not, however, reading a fine print over here, you can discover that we do have plans to allow you to add new items to the side nav, but only after this feature goes out of the beta stage. Unfortunately, I don't have exact time frames when will this happen. So let's move on to the next category, and that is a mobile menu. Now, as its name says, the mobile menu will be displayed only on the mobile screen. And in order for me to show you this, I need to actually open a new tab and then simulate the phone screen. Right? You can do that by going into, let me open a new page to show you exactly how I did this. So I'm using Google Chrome, and with the Chrome you can click on Inspect. This window will show up like this, or maybe it will be on the side. You can lower all of it down, and then here change what display you want to use. Let's say, for example, Samsung Galaxy S8 or iPhone Special Edition. Okay, that's how you simulate the mobile screen on your actual computer screen. I won't be needing two windows over here, so I'm just gonna close down this one and continue working on this one over here. And the first thing we notice is that our logo is missing from the website, because if you remember, when we enable the side nav, we disable the logos, but side nav is not shown on the mobile, so there is no logos anymore. And to correct this, I'm gonna go back to the Gecko Customizer, back to categories, and inside I'm gonna show the logo visibility on mobile. Okay, so now it's not gonna work, it's not gonna show on desktop. Let's just publish this changes in the preset. But when I refresh the page on the front end, my logo will show up on the mobile. But let's actually talk about the menu, the thing why we actually here. So the menu is showing right over here, all right? And you can change the position of it if you want. So let me go back to the theme and then mobile menu and position to the right or disable it to position to the left. Okay, so I disable it and save the settings. Now this hamburger menu is still on the right, but the menu will come out from this side. Look what happens when I click on it. Okay, the menu came up from this side. All right, and of course I can return it back to the right if I want. I need to refresh the page in order for new changes to be applied. And now it's coming from this side. All right, what's more, I can change the background color, overlay background color, icon color, and arrow icon color. So let's do just that. Let's say I want my background color to be completely black. So now my mobile menu is going to be black. Overlay background color is gonna be something lighter. That's the part that is not covered with the menu. I'm gonna explain it. Icon color and arrow icon color, let's do something like this and maybe a little lighter because our background is now black. Let's publish these changes. Go back to our website, refresh the page, and now when I open the menu, you see this is the overlay, okay? That part which is not covering the website, and this is the color of it. That's the overlay background color. Let's hide this logo from the menu. Let's change the individual colors of the menu items, because if you see right now, it's gonna be black, white, but we set the background to be black. So it needs to follow that menu background color. Let's publish all of the changes for now. Refresh the page, expand the menu. Okay, now our menu is completely black, but because the fonts are black, we cannot really see what's happening over here. So we're gonna change the menu lens color to white. All right. Did I publish? I did. Okay, let's change this to light. Okay, you see how you have a lot of freedoms and a lot of possibilities to create your own menu, and you can even change the font size in the menu if you want. Let's change it to something ridiculous like this. And now when I refresh the page and expand, it's gonna be much bigger, which is great if you have, you know, fat fingers like I do, and you want to allow your users to actually press the link they want. For example, messages, I don't know, or whatever other. You can do that, or you can make very difficult for your users and reduce it to like minimum font size available, and now it's gonna be really small. You know, imagine this on your mobile. Just don't do that. but it's an option if you want. All right. Before moving on to the above menu widget and under menu widget settings, I want to come back here to the close icon color and arrow icon color and change those to some darker color, because if you take a look here, I cannot really see it, right? Because the color is similar to the overlay background color. So I'm gonna make these colors a bit darker so I can actually see them on my website. Refresh the page for new settings to take effect, and now I can actually see the close X button. Let's go back to the community page. If you were paying the close attention, you will see that this header menu and our mobile menu are exactly the same. All right, but what if you want to have a different menu for the header and different menu for the mobile? Well, you can. It's simple as going back to the WordPress dashboard and then going to Appearance, Menus, and now we want to create a new menu. Okay, let's call it Mobile Menu, and we are going to check this mobile menu as a display location. Create this menu and let's add some items to it. Let's add recent activity, and we're gonna change the name to community. We're also going to add groups, messages, and that's it. So only these 3 items will be shown in our mobile menu. Let's save that menu. Now, when I refresh the page, I will lose my header. Let me open this site in a new page. I will lose this, this configuration of the menu, and only those new items that I created as a mobile menu will be shown. So let's refresh this page, and now my mobile menu is only showing these 3 items. Okay, so you can create a completely different navigation for your desktop experience and different navigation for your mobile experience. And finally, the last settings in the mobile menu in the Gecko Customizer is for the widgets that you can publish in that menu. And yes, you can do that. So let me quickly change the under menu widget settings, because I'm only going to use under menu. I'm not going to publish anything above menu because it works exactly the same, and there is no reason to show you the same thing twice. Above menu widget will simply create a widget above the menu, and under menu widget will simply create the widget under the menu. So I'm just going to change the text color of the under widget to white and background color to black, so it follows our design of the menu. And then I'm going to go back to WordPress dashboard, of course, go to widgets, close this dialog, and then I'm gonna find the mobile menu above and under positions. So in under, I'm gonna look for PeepSo profile. Let's say profile. In this widget, I want to show community links, I want to show cover, always, and update these settings over here. Now look what will happen when I open the menu. I will get my full profile like this, all right? As you can see, mobile menu is very powerful tool, and you can create any kind of menus that you want, even with widgets published in them. But that's all for the menus. Let's go back to the customizer, back to theme. And now we'll discuss what's in there in the footer settings. Let's expand those settings and see what's there. Now, in order to actually see the footer without page constantly reloading itself, and this will simply be time consuming, I'm just gonna go to the notifications page where I can scroll all the way down to the bottom without any autoload interference. I can also disable autoloads in the settings, but this is the faster way to do it. For the testing purposes, it will do just fine. And what you see here, don't be fooled with this part over here. This is not a footer, okay? This is the built-in copyright section where you can change your footer text line to, let's say, hello YouTube, okay, tube, and all rights reserved. I want to change that to how are you doing today, and publish this, and you will see that this change is going to be applied. So this is not the while this is technically a footer, we don't still have anything published in the footer. This area will naturally inherit all of the settings for the footer appearance. So if I want to change the background, I can do that, and it will be applied to this copyright section, but technically nothing is still published in the footer. So let's first publish something, and then we're gonna change the colors and mess around with the columns number and stuff like that. All right. To do that, we have to go back to WordPress dashboard. I'm gonna leave this page for now, and in the widgets, I'm gonna add something to the footer widget. Footer, you see over here, that's the position where you publish your footer widgets. And I'm just going to publish one widget, and that is gonna be PeepSo files. In case you didn't know, PeepSo files is a new plugin that is going to be available at the exact same date when this video is published. So if you have an Ultimate Bundle license, go and download files. It will allow you to upload files on your website. Okay. Let's go back to the website. We don't need this anymore. So I'm just going to close this entire inspector, and I'm gonna refresh the page, go to notifications, and now when I scroll all the way down, something is happening over here, and there is a conflict with the settings. Okay, I made by default footer is made sticky, and we don't want that. Okay, if you have like a little tiny line of the footer, then you make it sticky, but we don't really want it to be sticky, so we're gonna go back to the Gecko Customizer, expand the theme category, go back to footer, wait for it to load, and it opened the block section. I didn't want that. Go to footer and uncheck this sticky footer option. Okay. Now when we refresh this page, now it's showing properly because the footer is not sticky anymore. Back to the PeepSo Customizer, we can alter the footer appearance if we want and change the colors of it, but I'm not gonna do that right now because we already changed the colors for the different elements and there is really no need to do that once more. I'm just gonna show you that it's gonna be applied in real time however you want. Okay, the more important option is footer widgets, or the number of the columns in the widgets. As of now, we only have one widget published in the footer section, but if we set the columns number to 4, this section will actually allow displaying up to 4 widgets. So the next widget will be over here, the next one over here, and the next one over here. If I reduce that number to 3, you see how this widget expanded, and now I can publish 2 more widgets in this position. If I change it to column numbers to just 2, it will divide my footer to only 2 widgets. So let's quickly do that in order to show you how it's going to work. I'm going to go back to the widgets, and in footer I already have my files published. Let's publish some other widgets. Let's browse all. And I'm gonna publish the calendar. I'm gonna add one more. Let's show, for example, community photos. And I'm gonna add one more. For example, community audio and video. Okay, I'm gonna update this now, and now I have 4 widgets published in the footer position. Okay, refresh the page, go back to the Gecko Customizer, wait for it to load. As you can see, it's showing all the 4 widgets, but in 2 columns. Because I said only 2 columns are going to be allowed in the widgets. All right, let's go to theme. I'm gonna open the notifications page once more so I don't have to scroll. Okay, so let's see now how the footer columns are gonna affect all the widgets that are displayed in this position. So let's say 3 columns, or maybe 4 columns, or 5 columns, or 6 columns is making the room for 2 more widgets to be displayed here. Okay, I hope this made sense. Display on desktop and display on mobile. If disabled, these widgets will never be displayed on mobile. And for the last part of this video, let's discuss the landing page options. Now, landing page is a special page that will allow you to redirect all your users that are not registered or logged in and force them to log in or create an account before they can see your website. We have a full video explaining how to set up this landing page, so if you want to learn how to do that, check the links in the description below, and from here I will continue like you already have the landing page set up on the website to save some time, right? Once again, if you want to know how to set up the landing page, the link is in the description below. Also, I will have to open a new incognito window because I cannot be logged in and logged out at the same time. So I'm just gonna do that right now. New incognito window and open https peepso.tv, and my landing page looks something like this by default. All right, you can change this image, you can alter the other settings of it, but everything, all of that is explained in the video I mentioned. So go watch that video if you want to know how to set up this page. For the purposes of this video, we only want to see what is available in Gecko Customizer to customize this page. That being said, you can change the position of the footer and make it expand through the entire page, or you can display the footer widgets that we published previously. And that is basically all of the options that you have. So let's go back to the landing page settings in the Gecko Customizer, and let's make full width footer and publish the change. come back to the incognito page where we are logged out, and now the footer is gonna expand through the entire screen. I can go crazy and display footer widgets, and this is gonna completely destroy my website, because if you remember, I didn't really pay too much attention how these widgets are gonna look like, so I'm just gonna disable them back in the landing page footer widgets. And social widgets is exactly the same thing as the footer widgets, but for the footer social widgets position. So it's gonna do the same thing, enable all the widgets that are published in this particular position. And this is the place where I'm gonna stop this video because it's going too long. For now, we have covered the site settings, global color settings, appearance, and entire theme settings in the Gecko Customizer. In the next episodes, we are also going to cover blog widgets and PeepSo categories, but until then, you know what to do. Subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, comment, because I really do read all of your comments and I like to hear your opinions about our video. And if that's not enough, you'll go find us on social media. We are present there as well. Links will be in the description below. Until the next video, I wish you guys all the best. Bye!